Hi, it's Jason from the Dental Equipment Repair Channel. I bet you're wondering what that was. And when I initially found it, I was wondering what that was too. So the background is in 2018, I was on a routine service call in a dental office. They had called me in to work on a dental delivery unit, probably some sort of water leak, and essentially what happened was they had scheduled me to come in at a time when they actually had a patient in the chair. And I went ahead and did an utility room inspection while I was waiting for the equipment to become available. And this is a type of thing that I usually do when I'm trying to wait or I can't get on equipment. Obviously, the best scenario is to be able to get in right on the equipment, but sometimes that can't happen. And this is a way that I can provide extra value to my customers. I definitely recommend that doctors have somebody come look at their utility room, even if there's no visible problems there, because well, you'll find out why here. So anyhow, the circumstances I was waiting, and I had about 30 minutes, so I went and did a utility room inspection. And this utility room was down in the basement. And for utility room inspection, that includes the compressor, the vacuum, and an amalgam separator. Now, when I was down there, the compressor kicked on and it made this really terrible noise. And I'll go ahead and replay the video here for you so you can hear it. Yes. So that was what I heard. Air Compressor actually had developed a crack and was emitting a gold dust. Now, you can see the gold dust kind of, uh, you know, piled up here in this area, and it's also kind of up here. Now, when you're troubleshooting a piece of equipment, you are trying to find usually like the origin of where things are, and I'll just tell you, metal flakes tend to fall downward and oil drains down. So typically, if you have something lower, you want to look up higher. And in this case, it was pretty clear that those flakes shouldn't have been there. And I was able to find the problem right here. There's a crack in the housing, and you could tell where air was blowing out, and this is where all of the flakes started and were kind of falling down. You can see there's not too many flakes above it, but there's actually flakes down below it. So the crack was actually from the cast metal here, and this was just definitely not a good scenario. So what I did was I went ahead and wrote this up, and this was on in July and of 2018, and I went ahead and put that I had inspected the vacuum pump, amalgam separator, and compressor. The vacuum pump and amalgam separator appear to be in good working order, and the amalgam separator contents were below the fill line. So that was all good. Now, during the inspection of the utility room equipment in between room availability, air compressor shows signs of impending failure. Gold debris from piston wear is on left side of tank, identified issue to management, and recommended budgeting for replacement compressor. And if nothing is done, it will eventually fail during use. And we had some new and used options we presented to them. Okay, well, what do you think happened? Yes, that's exactly what happened. On January 3rd, 2020, so about a year and a half later, I get an emergency service call. They explain to me that there's a loud noise in the basement and there is no air to their dental handpieces and they had to cancel their patients and send home staff. This is what I found. The compressor had actually blown a hole in the side of it where the crack was and where that powder was coming down. That big piece of the compressor was now laying down on the floor. And we have piston rings here. We have just all kinds of dirt and dust and um, just a total mess here. There was a gaping hole where the pistons jammed, and basically this part right here spins around really fast, and it actually managed to seize itself up. Now I don't know if you can see here, but this is a 230 volt unit that runs at around 13 amps. So this is a really strong motor, and that that was really must have been exciting to when that happened. Now, luckily, nobody was down here and nobody got hurt, but this is definitely an ugly scenario. There's a little bit of a closer up, and just completely let go. You can see just how marred and mangled everything is. Not a good thing at all there. And there are all the just the large pieces. Like I said, that looks like some sort of a piston ring. There's the metal, and we'd actually kind of swept this in. So this metal actually flew a ways away, and we had actually kind of swept it up in a little bit of a pile there. And that was what we found. So, in this scenario, some of my thoughts were the compressor failure was identified prior to failure by way of routine inspection. Number one, as a technician or as a dental office, routine equipment inspections should be happening. And this is worth investing and worth marketing to your customers because the time to catch problems, especially on highly important things like an air compressor, is not when it fails. You want to catch small problems and either resolve them or come up with a solution before there's a catastrophic failure like this. The customer did miss an opportunity to solve the issue prior to failure. I did provide them the guidance that said replace your compressor, and they chose to ignore that, which is completely in their right to do. And the thing to remember, though, is prior to the failure, the doctor was in complete control over the situation. The doctor could have got as many quotes as they wanted. They could have got whatever they wanted, and basically they would have had an opportunity to solve this problem while the compressor was still running. But I will tell you, after equipment fails, the service company is always in control. So you better hope that you're working with a company that you can trust. Um, Now, another thought here is that this could have caused more facility damage, like it could have caught on fire, or it could have flown some metal somewhere, and it could have hurt bystanders or patients. So, this is a great example of the importance of preventive maintenance inspections, and this is a pretty interesting thing that happened to me in real life. And again, we found it in the middle of 2018, and it actually blew up in the beginning of 2020. So let me know your thoughts on this. Maybe you've had some exciting things happen that you want to describe down in the comments, or you have some questions about this particular event. In any event, thank you so much for taking the time to stick with me through this video, and I hope you have a great day.